What's up, YouTube, everybody? This your boy Tabby Trolling, CEO Qerim Entertainment, and this is Slavery is a Choice. Now, my monologue today is going to be about slavery, as always. We got a lot on our slate today. We got Stephen A. Smith, Molly Qerim, Jada Rose scandal, and we're going to cover that, right? We got Slim 400, rest in peace, shot and killed, right? What else we got on pick today, man? We also got, we got a lot going on, man. We got a lot going on with Jussie Smollett, all that. We got that going on. But first, let me just say this. If you read my channel name, Slavery is a Choice, and your first thought is to say something negative and don't even ask me what it means, that's just on you. But I can tell you what it means. Slavery is not only physical, it's mental, it's financial, it's spiritual. There are different types of slavery. We have wage slavery. I am a wage slave, so I'm not just talking about high horse here. But without further ado, let's get to our first story, man.
BLM brands Jussie Smollett trial as a white supremacist charade, pledging support for the actor ahead of the verdict.
We can never believe police. It's not about a trial or a verdict decided in a white supremacist charade. It's about how we treat our community when corrupt systems are working to devalue their lives.
Racial identity, a reliable indicator of trust for BLM. But what if everyone in the trial is actually black? Jussie Smollett found guilty of staging a hate crime against himself, or Sundero brothers, the attackers he paid to beat him and yell racial slurs. Chicago Police Department superintendents. Could have been a tough one for BLM. Thank God there's always an enemy to be a scapegoat.
We find ourselves, once again, being forced to put our lives and our value in the hands of judges and juries, operating in a system that is designed to oppress us.
We've got breaking news in the Jussie Smollett trial. A verdict has not only been reached, it has now been announced. Sarah Seidner, you have the details.
That's right. Jussie Smollett, a jury has found that he is guilty of 5 of 6 counts of disorderly conduct. Now, of those 5 counts, I'm just going to sort of give you a little bit of what the law is there and what he was charged with and what he is now convicted of. On count 1, it was making a false police report that he was a victim of a hate crime to Officer Babe, one of the officers that took that report. The second count, they found him guilty of making a false police report that he was a victim of a battery to that same officer. The third count, the jury found that he was guilty of making a false police report as the victim of a hate crime to another detective. And then on count 4, guilty of making a false police report that he was a victim of a battery to that same detective, Kimberly Murray. Count 5, they found him guilty again. Same thing, making a false police report, this time that he was a victim of a battery again to that same police officer. And then on count 6, that is the only count that the jury found him not guilty, and that was for making a false police report that he was a victim of an aggravated battery.
You see, herein lies the problem. Herein lies the problem. Look, man, so you seen the statement that Black Lives Matter made. That shit is asinine. We gotta stop. Look, man. These alphabet boys don't give a rat's ass about Afro-Americans. Let's just keep it real. The audacity. See, this is why people think we are a joke. The statement is basically saying, even though Jussie Smollett lied, and he did, we're still gonna stand behind him because racist cops. When clearly, most of the people in this case are African American, are black, Afro-American, melanated, whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. I don't understand this blind support when it comes to BLM, who probably made so much money off of this. Let's be real. Black lives only matter when they monetize the chatter. I'm gonna keep saying that because it's true. I don't want to spend too much longer on this subject. I actually want to get out of the way, man. But this is crazy. This is just unacceptable what Black Lives Matter and Jussie Smollett is doing. I had to just say something about that. We're gonna move on to the next topic. All right, so let's roll this next clip, and I'll be right back.
Wild rumor is now linking Jalen Rose's estranged wife Molly Qerim to Stephen A. Smith.
Content disclaimer. The video you're about to watch on Self Talk's YouTube channel is for fair use purposes.
According to Jalen Rose, he and estranged wife Molly Qerim have been separated for almost a year. Has she already moved on? Jalen Rose, December 8, 2021. After being separated for almost a year, Molly and I have officially decided to go our separate ways, Rose wrote on his Instagram story. We both agree remaining friends and colleagues is the best course of action for our relationship going forward. Please respect our privacy at this time. According to MTO, whose reports are sketchy as hell, there are some ESPN employees who think Qerim and Stephen A. Smith are dating. She's definitely Stephen A.'s type, a non-black woman with exotic features. Molly is ethnically mixed, Italian and Albanian. The other employee told MTO News, they flirt a lot on camera. I thought it was all just play. But now that we learn she's been single for a year, yeah, it seems like something is up.
Don't forget to like,
do yourself
comment,
a favor and
subscribe.
take this with a major grain of salt as it cannot be confirmed. Word on the streets is, Jalen Rose wants to beat the brakes off.
Wow, man. Wow. Shout out to Self Talk for that, man. But that's crazy, right? That is just crazy. And word is they've been like that for a year. But if I could recall, Max Kellerman, the former host, used to make off-color inside jokes about Molly and Jalen in a good way. So it kind of threw me out for a loop, man. I guess that explains why Jalen Rose is not a frequent member of the First Take anymore. Just to understand why, probably because, Stephen A. wanted, or Molly probably wanted Max out of there. So I'm starting to think, it's my theory, I'm starting to think it's going to be Stephen A. and Molly Qerim First Take. They just bring on different guests. Because that's basically what they're doing right now. That's basically what they are doing right now at this moment. I don't want to get too much into the mess, quote unquote. This story just kind of hits home because, as we all know, no excuses. PSA, no excuses. But if we being realistic, man. Matter of fact, if we being realistic, I got. We're gonna be realistic for 1 second. All right, look. When it comes to workplace cheating or workplace infidelity, a lot of things that, once again, not not supporting it or cheerleading with pom-pom. I'm just speaking. Everything I'm saying is facts, no emotions. What I am about to say right now is facts. It's not emotion at all. So look, we all know that most of us work so hard that we actually see our coworkers more than we see our significant other than our kids. And that's just being real. If you got a full-time job, and unless your wife works with you, and my wife does, we both on a plantation, that's neither here nor there. If you got a full-time job, and you got kids, more than likely, the workplace becomes your family, the workplace becomes your escape. So what will happen is the morals and the balance of work and private life is inverted. It's flip-flop, right? Because now, you know what I'm saying, it just ain't working anymore. Like, if you want to be working 40 hours, man, I'll try not to be too judgmental because I am a wage slave myself. But I was just trying to tell you what's going on at every single job I've been to. Every single job I've been to had the same thing. A shoulder to lean on. I'm not gonna finish that quote. That's it for Molly and Stephen A. I had to just speak on that, man, just because of the algorithm. You feel me? I had to speak on that. But without further ado, hey man, this next topic, I gotta listen to this shit, man. Roll the tape.
Well, controversy at the University of Pennsylvania where a transgender swimmer is smashing records in the U.S. women's competition. Lia Thomas, who competed as a man as recently as 2019, finishing one race a full 38 seconds ahead of the closest rival. Outkick founder Clay Travis joins us right now with reaction. Where would you like to start on this, Clay?
Well, I think it's important to point out that this swimmer was for 3 years a member of the men's swimming team and was downright really good. So this swimmer trained entire life as a male swimmer, dominated, and then takes a year off and comes back as a women's swimmer. The NCAA says that is eligible after a full year, but clearly when you're winning races by 38 seconds over the person who is in second place, won a 500, this Penn swimmer did, by 15 seconds. Right. So when you start to look at how dominant these results are, the NCAA issues that allow this to occur don't seem to be actually reflective. And the bigger issue here is it threatens to destroy all of women's sports, all right? Men, this is not sexism, this is biology, are bigger, stronger, and faster than women. That is why we separate men's and women's athletics. Right. So if you are going to allow highly trained and highly skilled men to decide to compete against women, the women are not going to win. And this is a monster issue that threatens to become major for many other sports as well.
Number one about that guy or girl, she's certainly not Aretha Franklin because she will never feel like a natural woman. And that's the point that I want to make here that I really thought of, is that Megan Rapinoe got on stage about equity in sports and fair play and fair pay, and she made a statement. She said, I'm a woman athlete, and I can do everything a man or a male athlete can do. It's proven that you can't. That is demonstrably false. We have to be honest about it, and it's okay. Males and females have different physical makeups.
Yeah, I think that most people are scared, and this goes to the power of social media, the power of the alphabet mafia, the power of the culture that has overtaken America, that people are afraid to say what they truly believe. People are afraid to stick to the facts. And so,
oh my God. See that? See, this is the problem that we have with this whole transformer situation. This is nothing but a modern day Joanna Man. We all remember Joanna Man. The NCAA allowed this man dominated. He dominated when he was a quote unquote male. He took a year off, changed his identity, and dominated women's sports so bad that he beat them by 38 seconds. This, okay, now we gotta be very, very, very careful here. Okay, this has some very, very dark implications if this sees through. So let me tell you something right now. They won't stop. Who'd say they'll stop at swimming, right? Who'd say they don't start with the men's basketball? Are y'all hearing me? Golf. Are y'all hearing me? Baseball. Come on. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying right now? This could be very, very, very dangerous. Especially in a contact sport like basketball. I know this is swimming, but if you imagine, can you imagine LeBron James retiring from basketball for 1 year, only to come back as Leandro James, that played in the WNBA and averaged 55 points a game? That's the equivalent of what just happened right here. This is very, 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 I cannot express this enough. This is very dangerous territory we're heading into right now. Very, very dangerous, because transhumanism is real. It's real. And without saying too much about that, I had to say something about that as well. That's just foul. And if this sees through, man, like I said, this has some very, very dark implications. Right, and finally, for my last segment, we're gonna roll this clip. Y'all check this out.
It hurt me to wake up and see my beautiful black people suffer, victimized by the oppressive, harsh realities of the hood. I guess even though we were free, we were still slaves in the mind.
Message!